Hello everyone, so it's that wonderful time of the year again. It's the VIB Rouge and VIB sale at Sephora, and I knew that I had a good run and found some really good things when I had to have my shopping double bagged at Sephora this morning. So I pretty much throw myself at the store every year as soon as I can in order to show you not what I want to buy or what I recommend, but what I actually buy for myself. So if you're new to this channel, that is kind of a theme that runs throughout all of my videos. I really try and make videos that are useful for real life, so I do beauty and fashion for real life, and some of those videos are career focused and some of them are just things that I love, and Sephora is one of them. So every year I try and really take advantage of the VIB Rouge sale. I do spend a lot of money there, but it tends to really be focused around this time when I can get my 20% off, because I just find that it really makes it such a nice incentive to try new things and to repurchase things that I know I already love. So I'm going to show you both of those different topics through this bag of goodies today. I really like the theme for this year. It's like jewels. So just a couple of things that I want to mention before we get right into this bag of goodies is that the sale for VIB Rouge members at Sephora runs from November 4th to November 7th this year. And then for VIB members, it runs from November 11th to 14th. So those are really good opportunities to do your shopping for yourself, buy things that you love, buy things that you want to try, and then also buy gifts as well. So I hope that through this little haul you can get some ideas for my recommendations, which are a little bit, some of them outside the box. So I'm really excited to share them with you, and everything that I mention will be linked down below, as well as the codes that you will need to actually go ahead and shop with the 20% off. With that information in mind, let's whip off the tissue paper and get right into my big bag of Sephora VIB sale, VIB Rouge sale goodies. So the first thing they give you is this tote bag. I do like this year's version, like I said, with the jewels. I think it's really pretty and classy and very useful for lunches. I really like to bring mine to the office. And so the first thing that I want to go through is all of the items that I'm repurchasing because they are my all-time favorites. So you may have heard me mention these before, but I really do think that they are worth mentioning because I think they're really something special. So the first one is skincare. It's from First Aid Beauty. It's the facial radiance pads. These are well loved, and I think they are really fabulous as compared both price and quality wise with other brands' facial resurfacing pads. So Bliss has a great one, Kate Somerville has good ones. A lot of brands have their version of this, but these are actually some of the gentler ones, which also have a kind of nubbly texture to them that resurfaces your skin through the texture, but then also through the combination of, I believe, yeah, it's glycolic and lactic acids, both of which are very recommended by dermatologists. I find that they're very gentle. I can see the difference in my skin the next day. I tend to use them every couple of days, and so this big jar of the 60 pads lasts me a while, and I always repurchase it when there's a sale going on it. And then my other constant purchase whenever Sephora has a discount is the Clinique Acne Solutions BB Cream. This is so fabulous. It has SPF 40. It doesn't come in a ton of shades. I believe it comes in 4 shades now, and I get the lightest one, but if you can find a shade that works for your skin, I find that this is the best foundation I have ever tried. It is a lightweight foundation with a ton of pigmentation to it. It has a natural matte finish, and I think what's really special about it is the wear of it, not just the application. So throughout the day, it just needs maybe one quick powder, and it doesn't go ahead and settle into any lines. It doesn't gather at all. It's just really, really excellent quality. It's a really good price point as well, since foundation is something that you'll tend to repurchase a little bit more. I really recommend that you try this if you haven't before. I think the Acne Solutions branding of it is very misleading. If you do have acne, it's nice that it's from a non-comedogenic brand that has really good skincare, but equally, even if you don't have acne, I haven't had any for many years now, and my skin is often more on the combination to dry side, it's still a fabulous BB cream slash foundation to try. Definitely more full coverage faster than most of the BB creams on the market. One that I haven't had in a while and I've realized that I've really missed, which is the NARS Laguna bronzer. So for a long time I've switched to Guerlain bronzer. I've used contour powders from Kat Von D, and I've also used the Hourglass bronzer, but that one is also quite shimmery, and I just wanted a good old classic bronzer. This was one of the first that I ever tried. I think it's just such a fabulous option. If you do have much darker skin, I would go with Casino instead, but I think NARS Laguna just has something special about it because it's such a subtle shimmer in it. So before we get into all of the new good makeup goodies that I've been wanting to try forever, I want to quickly show you all of the new skincare that I got. So something that I have been hearing rave reviews about is the Good Genes from Sunday Riley. This is an all-in-one lactic acid treatment. Lactic acid is definitely one of those exfoliators that really works well for my skin, at least, and I've heard that this one really works well for a lot of people. As a peel and mask, I would say as a mask it's kind of expensive, but if it works well as a serum in conjunction with my Bio Performance cream, which does not exfoliate but rather plumps and rehydrates really well from Shiseido. I'll link that down below for you as well. I am well stocked on that, so I don't need it, but that is my constant, always, lifetime favorite moisturizer that really keeps the fine lines at bay for me. I'm 27, so it's not a huge concern yet, but I do think that all of the exfoliation that I do that's more on the chemical side rather than anything really scrubby really helps to keep my skin bright. So the pads from First Aid Beauty have been what have always worked well for me, and now I'm excited to try out the Sunday Riley and see how that sort of compares as a product. This is the Peter Thomas Roth Pumpkin Enzyme Mask. So this is an enzyme type mask that will go ahead and also resurface your skin, but very gently using pumpkin-based enzymes, which I think is really interesting. It has alpha hydroxy acid, really well-respected ingredients, and it goes ahead and moisturizes as well. So it's really meant to leave your skin really smooth and young looking, and I have to say what pushed me over the edge and made me want to try this particular mask rather than any of the others is the scent of it. It is absolutely wonderful. It's so comforting. It smells just like a pumpkin spice latte, which I don't even like the flavor of that much, but if you like a kind of warm fall scents, then I think you need to try this. It has a very jelly-like texture. It smells just like pumpkin pie. It's really wonderful. And they do have a set from Peter Thomas Roth of all of the masks for just an extra $20 above the price that you pay for just the single mask. But I really wanted to try a big jar of this one instead of a bunch of little jars. So that's what I opted for. What I will do for everything that I mentioned today is if there is a good gift set that includes the product that I purchased, then I will go ahead and link it down below for you, because if you want to try a broader realm of products from that brand or you have a gift to give, sometimes those gift sets can be a good option. From Vita Liberata, which is the luxury bronzing brand at Sephora, I have used their mousse, which is their original product, several times. Like, I've repurchased it several times. If you really want to get that dark color before vacation and you want it to really last, it'll last about 10 days without even any reapplication. You'll still have color from it. So it's a very impressive product. It's just really nice quality. I do think it's better than, say, Tropez. But what I will say is that original product, you have to be very careful when you apply it, because if you mess it up and you don't have sufficiently exfoliated elbows or knees, you will end up with brown patches that are very dark and very hard to get out even with special products. So I wanted to try the more lightweight sort of product, because ultimately being super dark and bronze is not something that is really in my future. If you can see my skin tone, I really don't tan well at all naturally, and so I really just want a hint of color when I go on vacation now. The older I get, being super bronzed is something that I care about less and less, and I think what I'll do is during Vlogmas, I'll be starting to apply this in preparation for Christmas in Hawaii. So I will let you know whether I think this is worth the extra money up and above the Jergens one that I usually use. But I'm going to hazard a guess that it probably is, just by virtue of the quality and research that goes into the original Vita Liberata products. So something that I do want to mention before we get too deep into this video is this year's Byte Discovery set. So I know this is something that you guys really loved from last year's video as well. Byte is probably my favorite overall lip brand from Sephora. I think their products are such beautiful quality. They have natural ingredients. It's beeswax based. The quality of them is really, it's almost outrageous compared to other brands. It's really excellent, and I'm actually wearing last year's lipstick, which I will link down below, from this set, which was more of a kind of mauve-y nude color. This year's Discovery set features a more bold fuchsia raspberry kind of color that is so gorgeous. I really respect them for doing a non-red lipstick in a holiday set, because I feel like we all have red lipsticks by now, and I personally rarely wear them. A color that's going to be so much more easy to wear for you during the holiday season, because you'll also be able to more easily convert it into a stain, wear it under a gloss, and just have it be a little bit less punchy than a red would be. But I do think that this is the best set that they do. I really recommend it. The other set that they do is mini lipsticks, and I think that the value for that one is not quite as great, especially since the lipsticks are so soft. I feel like those easily break because they are so petite, whereas this is a proper full-size lipstick. So over the last couple of months, I've done a lot of research over what bloggers recommend for eyeshadows, and I have to say I really disagreed with the Tide this year, because I didn't think that the Urban Decay matte giant set was really all that great. It felt very chalky to me, and I felt the same way about the Marc Jacobs one that almost every blogger has featured. It is a big, beautiful set. It's very visually appealing, but again, just swatching the shades, I felt like they were a little bit chalky or glittery, each of the shades for me. I did want to try something new, because this is kind of my opportunity where I treat myself to new eyeshadows. I certainly don't need them. I have a lot of them, but I think it's just really fun. It feels like a fresh start makeup wise, I think, especially with eyeshadows, if you have something new to try. So the first one I got is the Becca Ombre Rouge eye palette. It's their newer eye palette. It's very warm toned. It's quite matte, but the pink in it has a little tiny hint of shimmer. And overall, this palette reminds me of a warmer toned version of the Cocoa palette from Tom Ford, which is probably my all-time favorite luxury eye product. So I'm really excited to have something that I think compares quite well to it. Of course, it does only have 5 shades compared to the other popular palettes I've just mentioned. That may seem measly, but the price point is also lower, and I think the quality is substantially higher for what you get. So if you're kind of a classic neutrals, easy eye makeup kind of girl like I am, and you have to perhaps get ready quite quickly in the morning on the daily for work, I think this might be the palette for you. I'm really excited about having it. I will be doing tutorials featuring both of these palettes. I think what I will do is I will do a work makeup tutorial with the Becca one, and then I'm going to do a funner, kind of more bronzy holiday eye look with my new Naked 3. This is one of the only ones that I'm missing from my collection. I think it's so gorgeous. I cannot believe I don't have it yet. I swatched each of these shades in the store. Not one of them was chalky. They were all buttery. Not one of them is super glittery. They're all more subtle shimmers or mattes. I think the quality that's in this palette is really fantastic. Something about this really, I think, will be very flattering, just because of the warmth and the gold and the roses that are kind of interspersed throughout all of these shades. Very excited to create tutorials with both of those, and my other Naked palettes have never let me down. I just didn't think that the full giant matte one was really all that great compared to these. The next thing I got, which was the hardest to hold off on, I have been wanting this 4 months, pretty much ever since they got it in store. This line of perfume called Commodity is very reminiscent in terms of branding of Byte for me. I think it's just very similar in aesthetic. This is just such a big, beautiful bottle. It's 100 milliliters, and the book scent is something that is really special. So the reason I got the full-size one in this scent is because I could not get it out of my mind once I smelled it for the first time. It has a top note of crisp cucumber that is so refreshing compared to most very heavy-handed fall and winter scents. I felt like it was just pure genius. It really tends to linger. It's very fresh, but then underlying that note of cucumber is a papery kind of woodsy warm base that is really just lovely and comforting, and the whole perfume kind of together, all the notes together worn on the skin, smells like a luxurious library where you're having afternoon tea. Overall, it just really has that kind of tea, warmth, woodsy, and then the freshness of the cucumber is just, it's wonderful. If you want something that is very different from anything that you smell before, but not weird, then you should try this. I really highly recommend it. I have been really struggling to hold off until the discount to get it. And then because I just was so impressed with their ingenuity when it came to putting that scent together, I also decided to get some of the roller balls. So this one, which is wool, is going to be living at my boyfriend's place. This is more of an evening kind of sexy scent, but it's still not very heavy-handed compared to a lot of other just kind of warmer scents that I've tried for the fall and winter season. It is bourbon, vanilla, cedarwood, and vetiver. Really beautiful kind of natural woodsiness with, instead of the fresh cucumber, a sweet, really wholesome vanilla. So they also have the rose gold kind of more floral scent end of the line, and the mimosa one was my favorite. So I think the overall scent of this one to me is really like a nice fresh orange blossom with more kind of green fresh notes underlying it. That's what I smell when I smell this. I don't think that's exactly how they describe it, but it's called mimosa, but I would say if you like orange blossom and just really nice fresh florals that aren't too powdery, you will really like this, and it's perfect for any kind of vacation you might have coming up. Something that is newer and also happens to be the most top-rated concealer on the Sephora website is the Guerlain Multi-Perfecting Concealer. So this is one of those concealers that combines skincare and makeup to create a kind of a lightweight concealer. So it's meant to be very pigmented but still very lightweight. It's not one of those heavy stick concealers, which I find is much smarter for my skin. I don't want a lot of makeup around my under eye. I want to keep it really light. I don't want to have to powder it a lot because that can just create a really dry look, especially in an office environment. And I never have really found something that I know I want to use forever, like the Clinique BB cream. So I'm always on the hunt for a new concealer. I forgot I do have another repurchase, although it's new packaging. The product formulation itself I don't believe has changed. However, they've come up with a new mid-tone in between the lightest color and the darkest. So this is the number 3 medium shade for the Benefit Gimme Brow Brow Setting Gel. I really like this one. The packaging's a little bit tacky, but since I know that I love the product and the brush, I think I will continue to love this, and so I repurchased a new one because I was running low. I'm a big fan of highlighter and blush, not such a big fan of heavy contouring. So I really kind of tend to pay a lot of attention to which highlighter I'm using. It's something that I think just really lights up the face, especially when you're very tired. So I'm all about the new highlighter trend, and I think Becca makes some of the best ones. I've been using Champagne Pop for the entire last year pretty much, and it's actually down to like very little product and probably going to break soon because it's a very soft product. I do think Champagne Pop is a little bit golden for my skin tone, and a lot of their other highlighters tend towards very cool pink toned. So I wanted to see if I could find something that would be a little bit more neutral, but still beautiful and still have a lot of pop to it without a lot of glitter. So I tried the Bobbi Brown Pink Glow, and like I said, I really actually wanted something that would not be too pink, but contrary to the name, this is actually really more of a neutral. Very, very fine shimmer. I really like the packaging for it as well. I think it's gorgeous. So this is a Caviar stick from Laura Mercier. It is a gorgeous minky taupe color. It's a little bit more on the kind of purpley side, but not too much. I think this will be a really great neutral base for creating that kind of holiday shimmery sparkly eye that I've been talking about, and it will go really well with the Naked palette from Urban Decay that I just showed you. The Laura Mercier Caviar sticks are some of the best quality ones in terms of creasing. You can just wear them on their own and they're just really fabulous. I've been hearing rumblings that the whole matte lipstick thing is kind of over, which is fabulous for me. As you've heard from my Byte recommendation, I really prefer lipsticks that are more emollient. That's what's comfortable and wearable to me. But along those kind of lines for makeup trends, my suspicion is that glosses are going to make a comeback, and my all-time favorite brand for lip glosses is Buxom. I think they pretty much cover all bases, so it's really hard to pick a color if you're going to get a full-size one. They do have beautiful kits, which I will link down below. I almost got one of those, but then in the end it was really this color that caught my eye, and so I just decided to opt for a full size. This is the color Rose Julep, which is a kind of mauvey pink mid-tone. You don't want to have too much shimmer all over your face, so the look I'll be creating will be shimmery on the eye, smoky, kind of really beautiful and sultry, and then this as a light lip product will look so fresh and healthy. It will cover up any dry lips that you have. Buxom just really make lovely quality lip glosses that are very plumping. This thing I got, Mother and Baby, are little candles. So they are now carrying the Nest candle line at Sephora, which was a surprise to me. Seems like a weird combination, but I feel like if you like makeup, you probably like scented candles as well, just as a generalization. I know it certainly applies to me. However, I've been trying to really lay off the whole like Diptyque and Jo Malone $100 candle trend. It really is expensive to be burning your money that way. So I've been kind of erring more towards the DW HomeSense kind of candles, and I've been very happy with those. But I did, for the holidays, want to treat myself to something special. So this is from Nest. The packaging of this is absolutely stunning, just with the leaves, and right away, even before I open it, I can smell it. The scent of this, I think, is really something special up and above the other Christmas tree type candles that you see during the holidays. It just smells so luxurious. It smells like a true Christmas tree with undertones of amber and musk. But the Christmas tree element doesn't have that kind of sour note that I find a lot of candles around the holidays actually have, which is sort of unpleasant. So if you want a luxury candle, then I decided to get this beautiful little mini as a gift for a friend. So it's the same scent, same looking little jar, super cute. It's almost like a little shot glass, but a little bit bigger. And I just thought this was so dainty and cute and would make such a lovely gift. As a stocking stuffer, it's about $20, so it's not too horrible in terms of price point. And again, it smells like a Christmas tree. So if you had a fake tree or something like that and you wanted to have that Christmas tree scent, you could go ahead and hang a few of these as gifts for people on your tree, and it would probably actually scent the room without even being lit. I know this video is already getting monumentally long, so as I said, if you haven't yet, please subscribe so you can see my further content about all of these goodies. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!